Hello everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. This week I am focusing on the cute cat in the 9 Live stamp set. You can see other projects I've done this week on my YouTube channel as well as my blog. If you're a cat person, or even if you're not a cat person, it's going to be pretty hard to resist this cute guy. I decided to make this card after I saw this photo. I went to Pinterest and typed in cute cats. That's all I did. And look at this one. This was one that I saw. I love Siamese cats. And look at that, whatever he's laying on, that blanket reminded me a lot of our postscript background stamp, this one right here. So that's what I ended up using. Can you see how that's similar? You know, when you're trying to get inspiration for ideas for projects, you don't necessarily have to type in the name of the stamp set. You can type in other things and get your ideas from all kinds of things. So that's what I came up with. And not only are we using the postscript and the 9 Lives, I decided to do a sentiment that says miss you, and it is from the Itty Bitty Greeting stamp set. It's a set of 2, and it's that one right there. All right, well, let's get started on our cute cat. This guy is, you can make your cat in lots of ways. The stamp set has lots of ways to decorate your cat, if you will. Maybe decorate's not quite the right word. To make him look like a certain kind of cat. For this cat, we're gonna use, let's see, I'm gonna use this stamp right here. See how that looks kind of funny? So let me get that one out. And I'm gonna use my Stamparatus because, to be quite honest, you guys, this cat and lining up the parts of his fur, if you're doing 2 or 3 step stamping, is not real easy. You can't really do it just by sight. So that's why I decided to use my Stamparatus. It's going to help me really line those up and get a perfect fit each time. So you want to get the outline of your cat set up on your Stamparatus. I have my mat under here to make it thick because this is photopolymer, and I'm using my magnet to hold a piece of Whisper White in place. So I'm going to ink him up in Memento and stamp him like that. And then I'm going to get that stamp that looks funny all by itself, and I'm going to lay it down right where it goes. See, you've got to really line up lots of areas, the ear, the spots, the leg, and the tail. So when you do it this way, it really gives you the opportunity to get everything just right. All right, once you have it in place, you can take your plate and pick it up like that. See how using the plates, I can leave them in position in case I want to stamp him several times. The stamp will be lined up every time. All right, I'm using Smoky Slate ink for his spots. Let's see. Very nice. Perfect. It was just perfect. All right, so there we go. We've got our cat. While we have our Stamparatus here, I'm going to take this plate off and get the second plate. We're going to do the background stamping. Now, the background stamp is not photopolymer. You'll see it's red rubber, so it has foam. So if your stamp has foam, you can get rid of the foam that comes with it. And let's see, I want it right in the middle, and you can use the grid lines to make sure it's straight. So I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to put my Whisper White paper here. Let's make sure, yep, that works. I'm going to put my magnet down here at the bottom, and I'm going to use that Smoky Slate again to ink this one up. Now this is a big one, so make sure you stand up and get on top of your Stamparatus and really use some of your muscle, okay? When you're using a background stamp, you've got to be strong and push on it with all of your weight in all of the areas. All right, let's see. Perfect. Now, if it wasn't perfect, maybe it didn't stamp right or it's not dark enough, I could re-ink it and just stamp it again, and it would be exactly perfect because our magnet's holding our paper in place. But this looks pretty good, so I think we can move on. Okay, I'm going to bring the Big Shot over. We're going to do 2 things on our Big Shot. First, we're going to cut out our background with the stitched rectangle. This is the second largest stitched rectangle. So I'm just going to center it on there, run it through, and pop it out. Voila! Very nice. Now while we have the big shot here, let's do the frame. Okay, so a piece of basic black, the largest stitched square, the next largest stitched square, right there, put them together, make sure they're straight, and run it through. Run it back if you want. And let's see, you've got this, which you can save for later, right? Use that for something else. And then we've got our perfect frame. There we go, perfect. You can do that with all of your layering framelets. They fit well inside of each other to make those frames. Okay, let's start layering things up. We're gonna add some dimensionals here to our stitched rectangle. I want it to have a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to put one in each corner like this. And then we're going to center that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the frame, except this time we're going to use mini dimensionals because it's skinny. Our regular dimensionals would be too fat and you would see them. All right, one in each corner. These are a little bit trickier because they're so small, but I sure do like them. All right, now I'm gonna kind of put it down here towards the left side, like that. And then my cat, we need to punch him out. So get your cat punch and turn it over to the back. Line him up, right, like that. Make sure you've got the tail lined up and the ears lined up. And everything is perfect. There we go. Okay, now of course he needs a dimensional too. And I'm just going to put one right there. Okay, now I felt like it was a little too plain. He needed some decoration behind him, kind of like he's sitting in a window somewhere. So I'm going to use my leaf punch and soft sea foam. This is a real soft pale green. And then I'm also going to use one of my itty bitty flower punches. And we're going to punch out 3 of those. And we're going to add a little dimension to these too. I'm going to show you a little trick. If you get your mat, this is our piercing mat, and please forgive mine. It's very messy, very well loved. And I'm going to use this part, this end. You could use the stylus on your Simply Scored, but if you have the Take Your Pick tool, you can unscrew that in and put this end in. Whoops, I want the fatter one. And then if you just go around in the center of your flower, it will create a little bit of a scallop there. See how the leaves kind of come up? The friend who taught me actually said to put it in your hand and do that, which I thought was cool too. So you can use your mat or you could use your hand, whichever one you have on hand. No pun intended. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to add some pearls, but I wanted to add a little bit of color to them. So I'm going to take my dark, my dark daffodil blend and add a little bit of yellow. That guy just wanted to, no, he doesn't want to be yellow. I don't know. He lost his sticky. All right, now I can use the putty end here to pick these up and put them right in the middle of my flower. Like that. There we go. All right. Let's add in all of these things. And I'm going to do that just using glue dots. All right, I'm going to put one kind of coming out from behind him. And let's see, one more over here. And one more, whoops, one more right in there. All right, now for the flowers, same thing. I'm going to put them on the glue dots. I'm going to use that end right there on my take your pick tool. Put one there, and last one's going to go over here. Now the last thing we need is the sentiment. And if you feel like the I miss you stamp isn't necessarily what you want, change it. Happy birthday, thank you, thinking of you, whatever you feel is appropriate for whatever you need your card for. That's the beauty of these cards, is that you can just change the sentiment and make it for a different occasion. Now I just wanted to say miss you, so I'm going to cover up that I. If I can get my Post-it note to stick, just cover it up. Oh, we just need you to stick there for a minute. And I'm going to ink the miss you part. Get rid of that. Bring this over to my white and stamp it right along the bottom. Now I'm just going to use my scissors, but you could use your trimmer, and we're just going to cut it to be a rectangle. See? And we're going to slide it behind if we need to cut off a little bit, because there is a dimensional there. We can do that. So it's going to go right there. So I'm going to get a mini dimensional again. Boy, I've got things all over the place. I made a big mess making this card. Slide that there and put that there, and voila, we are done. There they are. I hope you love this card as much as I do. Remember to look for inspiration for your projects in all different kinds of places. Sometimes I look at cakes. Sometimes I look at party favors. Those are really good at giving you ideas on how to come up with your cards or whatever it is you're making. Now hop over to my blog where you can see the other projects. Everything you need is here on the PDF that's linked under the last photo. You'll find all the measurements and all the products I use listed there in case you want to order any of these. All right, thank you so much. Let me know if you have questions, and have a great day. Bye-bye.